Welcome back to our coverage of the Rotax Max Challenge African Open 2020 being held here at Formula K in Benoni. We go into coverage now of the Junior Max, and it is Troy Snyman leading it out in qualifying ahead of Tyler Robinson and Kian Grotus, 478 there, Ethan Steer 442.
It's all or nothing this weekend. It's all about the final. Tell me how you're going to handle this weekend.
I'll try not be too aggressive on the two races. Due to I don't want to spin out and start in a bad position on the final, and on the final I'll just go all for it. Any gap I'll take.
You had the advantage of doing an event here yesterday and regional. You won regional yesterday, so does that help a lot?
I think yesterday was quite a help because I haven't really been here much, and it was a really good practice. I've learned a lot from yesterday, and I think I'm ready for today.
Your opinion about this circuit, knowing that you've done a couple of European circuits, does this compare with the European circuits?
This is a very good track. It kind of looks like an international one. The curbs are fine. The track's not bumpy. It's a really good track.
So after hearing from the drivers, we head into race one now. Tyler Robinson just coming back from the FIA Women in Motorsport Academy. She's there in second place. And next to Troy Snyman, the flag has dropped and the race is on. And it's Troy Snyman out into the lead. He gets the whole shot again ahead of Kian Grotus, the driver we haven't seen a lot of running in the extreme stable, new to karting, I think only his first season, and doing very well in the African War. As I said, the commentator's curse. Last time I mentioned your name this weekend, buddy. Sorry about that. But it's Tyler Robinson who takes that second place now away from him, and just behind there, Ethan Steer. Ethan Steer making the jump up from Minimax into Junior Max this year, along with Troy Snyman, and I think along with Tyler Robinson as well. So a fairly new field here for Junior Max at the African Open. And all the front runners now previous protagonists in Minimax, but at the moment it looks like the Troy Snyman show, as Snyman just slays the rest of the field out there in front. He's pulled a massive gap as it stands in only one lap.
Mohammed Wali, the new South African Junior Max champion, is here at the event, but he hurt his back on Saturday in the regionals and opted not to do the heats so that he can have enough recovery to come and run the final, which is race 3 on the day.
So Mohammed Wali, our current Junior Max 2020 national champion, having to sit it out with a back injury. So it did not start for the 499 Mohammed Wali. So he's going to save himself for the final. And looking at the pace of Troy Snyman, he's going to have to get some proper rest and recovery before we go into the heat races. Into the final. Because in these heat races, Troy Snyman definitely got the pace over that of Tyler Robinson. Having a look at their fastest lap though, the top three all doing 108.1s. In fact, himself and Kian are on identical times, 108.122. So it looks like Troy Snyman though just winning it out with consistency, with now 2 laps to go. Just after the section he'll be on his final lap, and it'll be able to take basically a walk home win as we go across now to the final lap of Troy Snyman in this race 1. As we head through the final section of the track into the corkscrew, 1 hairpin and the corkscrew to go. A very, very interesting part of the circuit this is, but it is Troy Snyman looking like he's got it waxed, and he's going to walk away with an early win here in race 1. Stands for good. Stands towards the good run for the rest of the weekend, and we can see if he continues this run of victories throughout all 3 heats. It's not something you normally see in the African Open, but it's Troy Snyman though taking the race 1 victory ahead of that Tyler Robinson, Kian Grotus in third. A great run from him in his first season. Ethan Steer in 4th, and Matthew Wadley in 5th place. Race 2 now, and it is Troy Snyman on pole ahead of Kian. Kian setting the second fastest lap, puts him second on the grid for the start. Then Tyler Robinson, Ethan Steer, and a lot of moving and shaky going on there into turn 1. But it's Troy Snyman again with a whole shot. Let's see if Kian can make it through this section without my commentator's curse here hampering him. And Tyler Robinson in 3rd through the double left they go. Kian looking very racy at the moment. Nice to see a new driver get onto the pace that quickly. You don't often see it, so great work there. He is being trained by Leroy Poulter, so a lot of experience being handed over to young Kian, but he does have a lot to learn in a very short period of time. Having a look back now at the gaggle of carts fighting for second place, and this has allowed Troy Snyman to check out again, and he's slaying it again once again in race 2, getting himself a massive gap in the early part of the race. So a lot of pace shown by Troy Stamon in the early parts of the race, and in fact a lot of pace shown throughout this heat. So whatever changes are being made on that kart by Ralph Wardendal and his team are doing wonders for young Troy Stamon in that the 444 Junior Max Tony kart.
I know that Tyler Robinson has been spending days and days and days practicing at this track, and it's showing. She's made such a move forward, getting closer to the front of the field. Grotus, I know, had one session at this track, and yeah, as you say, he came third at the national, the second national at Swartkorps in his first season. Also somebody to look out for in future.
Yeah, a lot of experience being parted onto all these drivers. Tyler Robinson now working with probably our most successful Rotax world champion, and that is Wesley Orr. Sean Frost also throwing a hand in there with Tyler Robinson. Ethan Steer, though, doing very, very well. A father-son team from Cape Town, running under the GMP banner, doing very well there in his third place, but he's coming under massive pressure from Kian. Let's see if Leroy has taught any of those racecraft moves. I was going to call them aggressive, but I know Leroy will be listening to this, and I'll get a bit of a bit and a bit for that. But let's see if he's learned something from his coach, Leroy Polton, if he can get this move done on Ethan Steer now up into the hairpin. That would have been a good place to stick it on the inside, but he's decided against it. Although the fastest man on the circuit, Troy Stamon, 107.7, the gap has closed tremendously between himself and Tyler Robinson in this final part of the race. He's actually having to look over his shoulder. So we saw a lot of pace in the beginning. Maybe that car just set up too quick to get too quick too early. But he's managed to maintain enough of a gap to take the win here in race 2. And bodes well for future success in the final. But it's Ethan Steer, though, holding out Ken Robinson at the moment. Troy Stamon, though, it's not all over just yet. He does have the gap, but whether or not he can maintain it is a whole other story. Kian, though, gets the move done over Ethan Steer for that third place. So Ethan relegated down to 4th here in the G-Max race. Still great drive from him. Can't believe, judging by the size of him, that he fitted in a Mini-Max and just a season ago. But a mistake there from Kian on the brakes into the hairpin is going to compromise his drive up. He knows it. He's had a look, but not enough to ruin his chances at taking that third place. We're on the last lap. Tyler Robinson has managed to maintain that gap just behind Troy Stamon. The gap is staying very, very close. So will we see a hard race for the final? And does this mean we're going to be able to see someone knock off the pedestal of Troy Stamon, get him off the top step there, and take the win in the final? But at the moment here in race 2, it's all about Troy Stamon again in that 444. He's going to take the victory with a not so big gap. Tyler Robinson managing to stay right within there of that of Troy Stamon. So she's managed to stay right in there. But it's Troy Stamon, though, who's taken the win ahead of Tyler Robinson. Keno Quotas again in third place, just ahead of Ethan Steer, with Olaratos Sakuru in 5th and Matthew Wadley in 6th. Into the final we go now, and it is going to be a humdinger of a battle, we hope. Just behind there, though, we see the 499 of Mohammed Wali in his Esprit chassis. So he's joined the party here just for the final, and already in lap 1 he's gone from the back of the grid up into 4th place, just behind that of Keno Quotas. So great start from Mohammed Wali. Ethan Steer thinking to himself, I thought I had 4th all wound up here, and here comes Mohammed Wali just to spoil my party. But it's Troy Stamon, though, out in front. Mohammed Wali, if he does have the pace, needs to get on it quickly to get back behind, to get onto the back of Troy Stamon. We've seen what pace Troy Stamon has in the beginning, but down the inside, though, Mohammed Wali looking to get past Kian. It must be difficult for Mohammed, having not seen the circuit all day, to get himself bedded in for this race. So maybe regretting that respite he took, but a big mistake from Kian, and that is going to allow a great run for Mohammed Wali down the main straight. He's on the inside for turn 1, but that's the outside for turn 2, but he's managed to make it stick now through this change of direction section here. Up the hill they go, and it's Mohammed Wali up into 3rd in only 1 lap from the back of the field.
Mohammed Wali, of course, got the advantage. 20 laps less on those tyres.
That is true. That is not something I thought about. So 20 laps less on the tyres. So a fresh set of rubber there on Mohammed Wali's kart. So obviously he's done qualifying, but not race 1 and race 2. And although 20 laps doesn't sound like a lot, it's 20 times 1.6 Ks, not something these drivers are used to. A race like this will probably be 15, 16 laps at Swartkorps or any of the other circuits. It's been dropped down to 10 because of the length of the circuit. But Mohammed Wali head down, hoping to catch onto the back of Troy Stamon. But Troy Stamon, as we saw in the previous heats, he's got the hammer down early and he's got in the gap. Lap 8 of 12, he does have a gap over Tyler Robinson, but she no longer has a gap over Muhammad Wali, and it's going to be a fight between the two of them for second. And if Troy Stamon makes a mistake in these next 2 laps, it's going to be a 3-way fight for the winner. For the win of the African Open here 2020 at Formula K. A beautiful circuit, well put together, and in its first year of competition, and it gets the African Open stuck to it first time out. Hats off to the team there at Formula K for getting the circuit ready for this race. It's been an uphill battle throughout the year to get everything here and get everything done, and hopefully we'll be seeing loads more national competitions going on here, if not international competitions. The circuit can be greater for international events, so hopefully one day or someday soon we'll see not just the likes of the South African drivers here, but the likes of the international drivers competing it out for top honors. But as we speak of top honors, it's Troy Stamon at the moment, well off into the lead. Down the inside goes Wally though. That was a sneaky little move. I didn't even see that one coming. So Tyler Robinson didn't see it either. She's lost quite a few car lengths there on Muhammad Wali. He's moved himself up into second place with only 2 laps to go. But can he get himself under the 107.5 that he's doing at the moment to get onto the back of Troy Stamon? We know Troy Stamon's quick in the beginning, but we know he does tend to drop off towards the end. And it's whether or not Muhammad Wali, with those fresh sets of rubber, can close that gap onto Troy Stamon. I think just over 1.5 laps still to go here for Troy Stamon. He's looking over his shoulder. He sees that Esprit behind him, the 499 of Muhammad Wali, and that very, very well-known chrome green helmet just behind Troy Stamon. But we know Troy Stamon is used to pressure. He should have, would have. He almost won the Minimax World Championship last year. He was in the lead until it crashed on the final lap. But at the moment, it's the final lap here of the African Open 2020.
And him and Muhammad Wali, of course, have been fighting it, dueling it out for 2 years. They know each other very well, and there's nothing more that Troy would like is to get this ticket so that he could join Muhammad in Portugal next year at Portimao.
Yeah, both of these drivers are doing very, very well throughout the season. Troy Stamon, though, having a few difficulties. He's pointing down at 444, showing the crowd that he's able to do it, and he is the 2020 African Open champion ahead of that of Muhammad Wali. Tyler Robinson showing some great form to finish out there in 3rd, just ahead of Kieran Khotas. A great first season for him. Ethan Steere in 5th, Olarato Segudu in 6th, and Matthew Wadley in 7th.
Troy, tough national season, but it all came together today. You were very dominant.
I feel like today was a lot easier than the other nationals due to I could get in the front and there was a lot of fights behind me, and that just helped me to get further away from the pack.
You've been fortunate. You've done the big European circuits. Going to a circuit similar to this, also undulated, fast corners, fast first corner, slipstreaming. Does that suit you?
Yes, I really love the hairpins, fast corners, and like late braking zones of tracks like that.
Is there going to be some serious testing before the World Finals?
Yeah, we'll go to Portugal before the final.